So in this video for Hatshepsut, we'll be having a look at Hatshepsut's marriage to Thutmose II, focusing particularly on how well she fulfilled that role as a queen during the time period. So that's where we're going to start with a really good little phrase that we need to learn called conventional queen consort. That's a way of saying that Hatshepsut fulfilled the expectations that she had in her role as a queen during this time period. She was conventional, nothing unusual. She was the queen consort, which means she's the principal wife of the king. So by saying that Hatshepsut was the conventional queen consort, it means that she's not depicting herself in a way that we would expect her to one day try and assume the throne herself. There's nothing that would indicate that at all. It's as any other queen would be depicted during this time period. That's what this little phrase means, and it's a good way to describe how Hatshepsut depicts herself. And we see this in these titles here. She's called King's Daughter, which she was because Thutmose I, the previous king, was her father. She's called King's Sister because she is a sister of Thutmose II. She's got the title God's Wife of Amun, which was that expectation during this time period because she is the king's great wife, because she's married to her brother, Thutmose II, and he is the king, which was the expectation during the time period. That's all normal, all conventional expectations of a queen during this time period. She wears the vulture headdress, as we can see in this scene here. She's standing behind Thutmose II in this scene here, which is what's expected of her as well. She also commissions for herself a queenly tomb and queenly sarcophagus. The sarcophagus we can see here wearing the vulture headdress. So all conventional, all normal, everything is as we would expect it to be during this time period. There is an unusual stela though, and that depicts Hatshepsut as a queen with her husband Thutmose II. There's nothing unusual there at all. Hatshepsut standing behind Thutmose II, and that's not unusual either. That's customary, that's expectation. That's what we would expect during this time period too. However, what we have in the scene is also Queen Olmos, the previous queen, the queen before Hatshepsut, who is Hatshepsut's mother. She's also in the scene. And remember, Queen Olmos isn't related at all to Thutmose II. She's not related to him at all. She's not his mother at all. He was born from a different wife of the king of Thutmose I. So no relationship between Thutmose II and Queen Olmos, or no blood relationship there. And what we have is Olmos called in this scene King's mother, and that is unusual because she isn't Thutmose II's mother. She's Hatshepsut's mother. So there's a bit of an unusual scene there. She is Hatshepsut's mother, not Thutmose II's mother, which has led some historians, or has confused many historians, but it's also led some historians to think maybe this is indicating that Hatshepsut was really the power here during this time period, or was this indicating that Hatshepsut would one day become the king? Short answer is we don't know why this stela exists or why it depicts Hatshepsut in this way, but it is an important point to be able to understand during this time period where we have all of these other images of Hatshepsut depicted in that customary role as the conventional queen consort, and this one unusual stela, which it's worth bringing up because it shows a depth of knowledge and understanding about her relationship to the king during this time period.